Hey, Team Avatar, this is Captain Yeet here for you for the Avatar The Last Airbender episode review. This is going to be Avatar The Last Airbender Season 1, Episode 11, titled The Great Divide, Redo, Book 1, Water. So, let's get into it. So, beginning of this episode starts off with, the opening. We get a few recap moments from the different episodes, and then we go over to Sokka, and he's putting up a tent. Now, Katara walks over, and she's kind of mad about this because you're supposed to put up a tarp over the tent, so if it rains, we don't get soaked. Sokka goes, yeah, you're right, but I mean, it's dry season, it's not going to rain. But Katara goes, you just put it up just in case it does rain. And that kind of debate, I mean, yeah, I'm kind of more on Sokka's side because normally it wouldn't rain, but I mean, it could rain at any moment. And it don't, not like they have the weather app, so it could rain even though it is a dry season. I mean, there's no clouds or anything, but there's the possibility. But Sokka says he does like to use a tarp as a blanket. So they're going back and forth about this. Now, Sokka does get on Katara because while they're arguing, Katara was supposed to get the firewood and she just has a few twigs. That's not gonna start nothing. And so she throws all the wood in his face. He takes down the tarp. Aang walks over. He goes, "Yo, what's going on? Where's the firewood? Where's the tent? What's happening?" You should ask Mr. Dum Dum. You should ask Miss Twig. And so they're going back and forth again. Aang goes, "Okay, let's settle down. How about both of you guys just switch jobs?" And they go, "Yeah, okay, that's fine." They go, "Look at that. The Avatar settling debates like he should be." Then we pan over to Momo and Appa, and they're arguing over a melon. Aang grabs the melon, cuts it in half. Obviously, Appa gets the bigger piece because he has five stomachs. And then we go over to the next scene. And before we get over to the next scene, I do want to bring up this funny story to where I only ever been camping one time in my life. I don't know if I even call it camping because I used to be in Boy Scouts when I was a kid. And we went on a camping trip one time. But after like an hour or two of sleeping, my mom woke me up. We packed up everything and we went home. She couldn't. She couldn't. When I think about it now, it's so funny. In the moment, I was kind of upset. But when I think about it now, it's funny because she just couldn't do it. She just could not do the whole night sleeping in the tent. I mean, at least I would get to sleep in a tent for like an hour or so. But the only reason why I brought that up because I don't remember putting up a tarp over our tent. But then I started thinking, well, obviously tents now they can withstand the rain, but tents back in the day during Avatar's time, then yeah, they can't. They can't withstand the rain back then. Like what? Ain't no way they can do that. Anyway, they all go over to the Great Divide, which is basically the Grand Canyon of this world. So when they go over to the Great Divide, Katara, she's just in awe of the beauty of it. But Sokka goes, yeah, okay, this is whatever. She goes, are you serious, Sokka? Do you not see how beautiful this is? He goes, yeah, it's gonna look real beautiful when we fly over it. We got Appa. We don't have to walk through this thing. Like, this would be ridiculous. So as soon as they're about to get on Appa, this random dude from a tribe, and the tribe is specifically called the Ganjins, he comes over and he has a bunch of prim and proper, really rich looking clothes, and he starts yelling at them because there's a tour guide that leads people through the canyon as an earthbender every single day. He came ahead to like secure that spot. And Qatar, I mean, sorry, not Qatar, Sokka, he goes, whoa, okay, slow your roll. I mean, you get to have it. We're not going to take your spot. And what's really funny is that he sounds a lot like Robin from Teen Titans. And not one to one, but every now and again, when he says certain words, I'm like, yo, he sounds like Robin from Teen Titans. That might be the same voice actor. That sounds like Robin a lot. Anyway, after that, a new group of people they start to show up, and this new group of people is called the Xangs. Now, the Xangs and the Gaijins have hated each other for the past 100 years. The Xangs are like these barbarian, brute type of people. They're like Slavs. The Gaijins, like I just said, they're prim and proper. They're like rich sort of people. So the leader of the Zangs come over. She goes, "Oh, where's the Gaijins? Still trying to tidy up their camp?" Well, he goes, "Yeah, but they sent me ahead to secure the spot." And they start to go back and forth arguing because they've been arguing for the past 100 years for some reason. They just keep on arguing. Eventually, the tour guide comes in. And it's a really old guy with a really big mustache. I like his design. He's kind of a cool guy. And he has a few funny moments in this episode, but this is what the tour guide looks like. This really old guy with a big mustache. The more I look at him, the more I'm like, he looks familiar. He looks like somebody I've seen before. Maybe not in real life, but in another like cartoon or anime or something. I can't put my finger on it, but he looks like somebody I kind of seen somewhere else. Anyway, he comes out and he's ready to go, and the guy Jin guy's like, "Hey, I'm saving my spot for my people. They should be here any minute. I can't exactly leave people that aren't here, so now he's supposed to take the Xangs." But in the Gaijins, they start to show up. As soon as both groups meet up, they start to argue. They're going back and forth. The leader of the Zangs is this girl, someone more of a heavyweight girl with two pigtails. The leader of the Gaijins is this old guy with a really long beard. Now, the old guy, or the leader of the Gangjins, he's saying that they should take priority because they have a lot of old people that can't make the travel too long. Now, the Zangs are saying, wait, did I say that right? The Gangjins are the people that have the old people. Sorry, this is Ooh, this might get a little confusing for me, I'm not gonna lie. But no, I think I said that right. The Gaijins have a bunch of old people that need to go ahead and take the journey because they can't be taking too many journeys. And the Zangs are saying they need to take priority because they have a bunch of sick people that can't take the journey. And what's crazy is that when they start to argue about this, the Zangs said, you wouldn't have so many old people if you wouldn't have lived so long. Like what? Because the Gongsi was like, you wouldn't have so many sick people if you guys weren't sick slobs. We won't have so many old people. You didn't live so long, dog. That's the point. That's what we're trying to do is live long. Like, what are we talking about? They're just trying to make up anything. So funny. So Qatar, she goes, Aang, do you want to, try to help out in this whole situation? He goes, I don't know. I mean, settling debates with you guys, just doing chores is one thing, but these guys have been arguing for the past 100 years. And she goes, okay, hey, this is the Avatar. He can settle your debate. Aang is like, he doesn't say it, but in his face, he's like, whoa, what did I just say? I just said, I don't know. And you instantly go, he's the Avatar. What? Like, yo, like, what is your problem? So Aang, he brings up, I mean, we could just travel together in one big group. And obviously they don't want to. They're going back and forth about it. And Aang gets really mad and starts yelling. He goes, look, we're going to travel together as one big group. And Appa is going to fly you sick and old over the canyon so they don't have to do the walk. They're not really happy about having to walk together, but I mean, okay, that is kind of reasonable. They're trying to get to Ba Sing. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that. The reason why they're crossing the canyon is so that they can go to Ba Sing Se is because the Fire Nation destroyed their homes, and we do go to Ba Sing Se later on in the series. And I don't remember them being in Ba Sing Se at all. Like I don't remember a scene where Aang's like, "Hey, you made it." I don't remember that. Maybe there's a scene where maybe like one of them is in the background, maybe. But I don't remember them being in Ba Sing Se. It would have been kind of cool to see them in Ba Sing Se. But yeah, they're not too happy about this arrangement. But I mean, hey, they're gonna just have to do it. So they put all the sick and old on top of Appa. He's about to fly over the canyon. Sokka walks over to Aang. He goes, "Hey, are you sure about this? I mean, this kind of situation is kind of serious. They've been arguing for the past 100 years." Aang goes, "Honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna be ready for this. But I mean, I have to try. It's my job, right?" And Sokka goes, "Huh." Your job was to make us walk through this whole canyon. Now, at first, I was thinking, okay, this is gonna take like a few days, but no. The tour guide says that hey, before we leave, you cannot bring any food inside the canyon because it's gonna attract monsters. We're gonna leave in 10 minutes. So if their food isn't in the trash or in your belly, you're not coming. And everybody starts to complain. Now he goes, come on, would you rather be dead or do you want to fill your bellies? It's only gonna be one day, so you guys can survive that long. I'm like, oh, only one day? Okay, that's not bad. I thought it was gonna be a few days, just one day without food. I mean, yes, it's gonna suck. You're gonna be hungry by the time you get out. But I mean, hey, it's only one day, so I think you could be able to do that. So then we go over to both of the groups as one big group walking through the canyon. They're specifically walking on this giant earth like trail that's like above ground. Now while they're walking, one part of the trail is broken. So then the tour guide, he earth bends and just fixes it. And goes, wow, that's some pretty impressive earth bending. He goes, yes, it is, but it's not just about bending. People want a story too. And then he starts to explain the history of the canyon. Here's the really cool scene when the guy like fixes the bricks that they're walking on. I mean, not nothing too special, not nothing too crazy, but bending is bending. It still looks really cool when he fixes it. That was pretty dope. So he specifically tells the whole group that legends say that, oh, well, not legends, but we don't really know how this canyon was formed. But legends do say, well, I just said legends don't say, sorry, but but people say that back in the day, spirits from the spirit realm carved into the earth to make this giant canyon. And the reason why they did that is because people from back then didn't give the spirits good enough sacrifices to please them. And when he says that, a huge rock slide starts to fall on top of them. He earth spins the rock slide over to the side and he starts to laugh. He goes, oh, look at that. I guess the spirits are still mad. We don't have any good sacrifices even today. So eventually they get off the trail, they get on ground level, and when they do that, he grabs a rock and throws it and breaks the bridge that he just made. And goes, why did you do that? he says just in case there's some fire ants following us, they can't, which is pretty smart. And that might be why the bridge was broken in the first place, because he does this trip all the time, so he probably broke it all the time and fixes it. But as soon as he does that, this giant like spider-like creature comes out of nowhere and grabs the tour guide and starts to yank him around. So Sokka Aang runs up, tries to help him. Sokka throws his boomerang and it hits him in the mouth, and then the giant spider-like creature grabs. Actually, let me show you guys what the spider-like creature looks like. So Sokka throws his boomerang. It hits the spider-like creature in the face. It grabs the tour guide. I mean, it already has the tour guide in his mouth, but it has him, and it throws him to the side, and he falls to the ground. And it starts to chase Sokka. So Sokka's running away because he can't really handle this giant spider-like creature. It doesn't. Well, he does have a name. He calls it a canyon crawler. The tour guide specifically calls it that. So the canyon crawler gets mad, starts to chase Sokka. Aang jumps in, and it's a really cool scene. He makes like this tornado thing and grabs it inside the tornado, and then he yanks it up and slams it against the rock. That was pretty dope. So after that happened, Sokka goes, I thought the whole point of us not bringing food in here was to not get attacked by beasts like that. And the tour guide goes, I mean, yeah, that's the whole point. So that means somebody might have food. And so the Zangs are, saying that the Gaijins have it. The Gaijins saying that the Zangs have it. They're going back and forth. But there's a bigger problem. When the not the crack, when the canyon crawler threw the tour guide to the side, he broke both his arms, so he can't bend. So now they might really be stuck inside this canyon, which is wild. I mean, just breaking one arm is one thing, but breaking both your arms, I mean, geez, and it didn't even look like the canyon crawler threw him that far. But I mean, he is a really old man, so I mean, he's gonna be a lot more frailer than most people. But yeah, that's pretty bad. That the tour guy that could earthbend broke both his arms. So what are we gonna do? So then Sokka is like, I don't know what we're gonna do. So Aang starts to say, well, we're just gonna have to keep walking in the direction we need to go because the canyon guide, he's still alive, he's still awake, so he knows where to go. So we're just gonna have to just keep traveling in one big group. But then both groups start to argue back and forth. They don't want to travel with each other anymore. So Aang starts to yell. He goes, okay, look, here's the plan. Godzins on this side, the Zangs on this side. We're gonna travel in two separate groups. So let's just do that. Then he tells Sokka and Katara to go with each group to figure out exactly why they hate each other so much. So Sokka's going with the Zangs, and Katara's going with the Godzins. Aang is going to be like a neutral party, just flying overhead on his glider. So after that, we cut over to them walking and walking. We see some time pass. The sun starts to go down. So that the Zangs and the Gaijins are building up their own camps on two different sides. Well, when I say two different sides of the canyon, it's not like the Zangs are like 10 miles that way making a tent, and the Gaijins are 10 miles this way. They're still pretty close to each other the way you can see them. They're just separate. You can still see each other. They're not that far away. So while they're building camp, we get to, we get this funny little scene that brings into play the beginning of the episode to where the Zangs, while they're building camp, Sokka goes, so, you gonna put your tarps up? No, what for? It's dry season. And the tarp make a good blanket. Thank you! Like, it makes me happy. Then we go into Qatar. You guys are putting up your tarps? You think it's gonna rain? Well, no. It's dry season. But you can never be too careful. And she doesn't say anything, but she does like a super big smile. And she's like, uh, you get me. you guys really get me. Oh my goodness. She's really happy. So then we go over the Nightfall, and we go over to Qatar's group, wait no, yeah, the Gaijins. And I love this one little detail where they're all sitting in a circle around the campfire, and she's like somewhat slouching, but she notices that and she sees everybody else like sitting upright. So she does the same thing, so she can like be just like everybody else. So then they start to bring out a bunch of food and eat it. She goes, "What? You guys had the food?" He goes, "Well, of course. We already knew that the Zangs brought in food because of how they are. Why should my people starve and theirs shouldn't?" And Katara goes, "Well, I mean, I guess if everyone's doing it." So she takes some bread and starts to eat it. So she asked him, hey, how come you guys hate each other for so long? He goes, you seem like a smart girl. let me tell you the story of why we hate each other for the past 100 years. Now they do bring up specific names for these characters that's open the flashback. I'm not gonna lie, it was already kind of tough for me to remember Gaijin and Zhang. I mean those aren't confusing, but constantly saying them back and forth, I was like tongue tying. I completely forgot the names of the people in the flashback, so I'm gonna pause the video really quickly and get the names for them. Like I don't know why. Like part of me, every time I say that, part of me is like, why do I even say that? Because when you guys, because it's like for 1 second for you guys, it's like a minute or so for me. And it's not even a big difference. So I don't know why I say I'm a pause the video, but I just feel like I have to say I got to pause the video really quickly to get it. Oh, actually, before I do, here's the cute little scene of Qatar fixing her posture. She was like, "Oh wait, let me sit up right. Let me just okay." That was the scene. That was funny. Sorry about that. I paused the video by accident. Okay, now let me pause and get these names. Okay, I'm back. So in the flashback, uh, the Ganwei people. Oh no, am I saying that wrong now? The Jinwei people. Their leader at the time, 100 years ago, was Gaijin? Jinwei? Oh, Poopadook. I just had the names. But anyway, the leader of the Jinwei people, they had this redemption ritual where the leader would take a sacred orb and bring it from the east gate to the west gate. Now, they don't specifically say why it's called the redemption ritual because when you hear redemption, you're assuming that they're redeeming themselves for something, but they don't go that deep into it. But he has to bring this orb from the east gate to the west gate every now and again. It's a long journey, but he does it for the redemption ritual. One day when he was doing it, he was attacked when he got near the east gate by a Zhang person called Jin Wei. I think that was his name, Jin Wei. I'm confusing the name so much. I'm so sorry. But he got attacked by him, and he took the orb and ran away with it. That's why they never liked the Zhang people for the past 100 years. And then Qatar looks really mad and looks over at their camp. Then we go over to the Zhang people camp, and they bring out food. Now Sokka's not even surprised like Katara, like, oh my goodness, you did that? He just starts to eat the food. He doesn't really care. And she goes, I know the leader of the Zhang, she goes, I know you probably think we're horrible people for endangering everybody, but we know that the Zhang people never trust us, so they probably brought in food. So that's why we had to bring in food. Not exactly a good reason, because I mean, you guys could die bringing in this food, but I mean, hey, you already brought it in, so they just have to eat. Now, the way that they tell the story is that their leader from back in the day, Jinwei, or man, I'm gonna have to look up. I'm gonna have to look up the name put in the comics because I'm really messing these names up. I'm so sorry. But though, anyway, the way they tell the story is that one of their people from back in the day was walking and they found a Jinwei person on the ground, battered and bruised. He tried to help him, but he said that you need to take this orb back to my people. It's first priority. He goes, man, you're really hurt. He goes, no, you have to take care of this first. So he goes, okay, I'll take the orb back to your people and I'll send help as soon as I can. As soon as he brought the orb back into Jinwei territory, they thought that he stole it and beat him up and put him in jail for 20 long years. So that's why they never liked him. That's a pretty jacked up story. Now, in the story, they don't specifically state that he was like, hey, just ask him what happened. I didn't steal it. And he was like, oh, no, I don't know who this is. Like, like betraying him. But don't get a scene like that in this flashback. I was like waiting for that. Like, is he going to say what happened or anything? No, that never really happened. Also, when we see both flashbacks, in the Genway flashback, it's all prim and proper, beautiful animation. They look elegant. And then in the Zhang flashback, it's like cartoony. It's kind of like not rough, but it's like super cartoony. It's not as prim and proper as this, which obviously because the Jinwei are prim and proper, the Zangs are like barbarians. It would have been kind of funny if it was flipped, like if it was flipped around. That'd be kind of funny if it was that way. But no, that's not how it was. And it also would have been kind of funny if it was. Well, actually, yeah, no, that's the way. It was like flipped around the animation styles. It was like all goofy for the Gen Way and all serious. So after that happens, we go over to Aang, and he's feeling really sad because he would like to be around one of those campfires, but he'll be able to get around a campfire tomorrow. The guy walks over. He goes, "It's lonely, isn't it? Being impartial." He goes, "I wish these two groups can just get along and make their way through the canyon. Then just stop settling their stupid feud. I mean, they can settle their stupid feud." He goes, "I know." He goes, "I don't think each problem is too different." So then we cut to the morning. Both groups are walking on two separate pathways. Eventually, Katara, Sokka, and Aang all meet up at the end of the pathway. And Aang goes, "So, do you guys find out any information? I mean, hey, Katara, why do they hate each other?" Aang goes, I don't know. I mean, Qatar goes, I don't know, Aang. I mean, I don't know if we can ever trust the Zangs. I mean, the Zangs did steal the sacred orb. Aang goes, what are you talking about? He didn't hear the story last night. He's like, what are you talking about? Qatar goes, what? We didn't steal it. We're trying to give it back to you. And then they're arguing. He goes, okay, okay. So we're at the end of the canyon. At the end of the canyon is a gigantic wall. Now, normally the earthbending guide would just earthbend their way over the wall, but he can't do that. So they have to figure out a way to get over the wall. The Zhang person is arguing about the Gangwei. The Gangwei is arguing about the Zhang people going back and forth. Aang gets really mad. He goes, "Look, harsh words aren't going to solve anything. The only thing that's going to solve anything is action." And both leader goes, "You know what? The Avatar is right. Harsh words aren't going to solve anything. We're going to need to take action." And they both pull out their swords. This is going to be a fight to the death to see who was right. Aang's like, whoa, whoa, you know what? Maybe harsh words can work. I mean, I don't know if you guys will be killing each other right now. We have to get away. We have to get over this island. Those jokers were not playing. They're like, you know what? I'm gonna kill you, boy. Like, whoa, whoa. So they start to fight. While they're fighting, Aang gets a little mad. He jumps in the middle. Oh yeah, and also during their fighting, the Genway is able to cut off the girl's pigtail, and the Zhang is able to cut off the dude's beard. We're part of it. And then when Aang gets really mad during the fighting, there's a really big air gust and pushes both groups to the side. Now when that happens, all of the food falls out of their pockets and bags on both sides. Aang looks back and forth like, what? What? Are you serious? Y'all brought food in here even though the guy specifically told us not to? You endangered all of our lives. And obviously he's really mad about this. But then while he's yelling, he sees a custard tart on the ground. I don't know what that is. It doesn't really look like something I'll eat. But he goes, whoa, is that a custard tart? I mean, can I have it? He's like, that boy's stomach started rumbling. I also find it really funny that Aang did like that really big air gusts. I'm like, yo, Aang, these are normal people. Like, settle down a little bit. Like, maybe you shouldn't go this hard for normal people. Anyway, since there's a bunch of food all over the ground, a bunch of canyon crawlers start to appear. And it's not just one, it's like around 10 plus. It's like, that's pretty bad because they could barely handle one. Everybody starts to run away and fight off the canyon crawlers as best as they can. The tour guide, he was pretty funny. He goes, oh no, they came back for me. They got a taste and now they want more. And then Katara, she grabs Sokka while they're fighting off the canyon crawlers. She goes, hey Sokka, I'm sorry about the whole dispute and everything that we had, the argument. We should just like settle our differences. I just want to get out this can alive. Fucker goes, yeah, me too. And besides, the only reason why I took that side is because it fed me. That's the only reason. And so now they're fighting off the canyon crawlers the best they can, but the canyon crawlers are pretty tough, so they don't know what they're gonna do. Until Aang, he gets an idea. So he tells everybody to do what he does. So what his plan is, he gets a bag of food, takes all the food out, grabs one piece of food, and throws at a canyon crawler. The canyon crawler will come over to Aang. Aang gets the bag, does a backflip, and he puts the bag over the mouth of the canyon crawler and tightens it so now it can't bite him. And he gets on the back of the canyon crawler, he can just ride it like a horse. So all the Zangs and all the Gang Zins start to pair up and do it. We'll see a Zang distract the canyon crawler while the Gang Zin puts the bag over the mouth, or vice versa. We even see both of the leaders do that. And so everybody's working together. Then after everybody gets on top of a canyon crawler, Aang is the last person with a bag of food. He takes the bag of food, ties it on his bow staff. Well, not bow staff, ties it on his glider, and he like waving it in the air in front of his canyon crawler, and it's chasing it. And the canyon crawlers, as you saw, they can like walk up walls like spiders. So they start to walk up the giant wall to get out the canyon. And so all the other canyon crawlers are following them. So everybody jumps on the canyon crawler, jumps off the canyon crawler when they get to the very top. The Aang grabs the bag of food, throws it back in the canyon. All the canyon crawlers go back that way, which is good. Now, when that happened, part of me was like, oof. The fact that they can just climb over this wall anytime they can, I mean, that's pretty bad, isn't it? I'm pretty sure, this is like their environment, this is their home, so they don't do that. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that they don't do that normally. I guess they will only do that if something really, really bad or weird happens to their environment, because they usually just probably just stay here. But yeah, that's what happens. So after that happens, it's really funny because the Zangs and the Guy Zins, they all look at each other like, "Wow, we didn't know you can get your hands dirty." We didn't know you guys were so reliable. Maybe you guys aren't so bad as we thought. Yeah, maybe not. And Aang's like, hey, they're getting along. This is nice. But then they go, yeah, we thought you guys weren't so bad, but we can't rewrite history. All right, let's kill each other. Like, what? 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 Like, what? Are you serious? And so when they're about to start fighting again, Aang goes, wait a second. Those two names you guys brought up in your backstory, I know them. Now the guy's like, yes, yes, we know. We told you the story. He goes, no, 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 no. I actually know them. I'm actually 112 years old, and I knew those guys. Those guys weren't two enemies from two different groups. They were actually twin brothers, and they were 8 years old. And the East goal, well, not goal, the East Gate and the West Gate, they were goals. And they were playing a game as 8-year-olds. So you have to get a ball. The sacred orb was a ball. You have to get the ball and bring it over to one of the goals. Now, the Gaijin guy, he had the ball. He was bringing it over to a gate, but then he tripped and fell. And so the Zhang guy, he grabs the ball and brings it over to the other gate to make a goal. But he stepped out of bounds. And so he had to get into a timeout. Not for 20 years, but for 2 long minutes. And then they're like, wait, well, what about the whole redemption ritual? Whenever you make a goal, you yell redemption. Now, don't get me wrong. The Zhang brother, he was prim and proper and snotty. In the, well, no, sorry. The Gaijin brother, he was prim and proper and snotty. And the Zhang brother, he was a barbarian, a slob. But they respected each other's differences and always get along and help each other out. So how that happens, both groups are like, wow, they never knew this history. Like, that was kind of wild. Okay, then I guess we should stop this 100-year feud and start to get along. And so now they're all going to walk the ball, as they say, as one big group. Wow, okay, that's amazing. That's wild. And so after they walk away, Aang, Katara, and Sokka is about to get back on Appa. And Sokka goes, wow, Aang, I mean, that was some pretty good luck that you knew those guys back in the game. Back in the Sorry, back in the day, not back in the game. Sorry about that. Sorry, my words there. Aang goes, yeah, yeah, it was some pretty good luck that I knew them. It was luck. Or we're just lying. What? Yeah, I made the whole thing up. Katara goes, what? No, you didn't. That's bad. And then we get the credits. That's kind of wild. The fact that he lied about that. I mean, yes, Captain Yeet, he was. Both groups were arguing all the time. We didn't really know the true history. They were gonna kill each other. That is bad. But at the same time, the fact that we don't know the real history. I mean, one of those stories had to be true, or it could have been like a whole different story. But something had to be true, and I guess we'll never know about it. Also, they weren't brothers, so both groups shouldn't be. Well, I'm not saying both groups shouldn't be together, but now they're gonna be like we're just one big group because they were brothers. That's not really how they're supposed to be. And like the history's kind of getting mixed up. I'm not saying that one person from each group can't get together. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you get what I'm saying. Like both groups are just gonna be one big group and sort of take away their history. And yeah, I don't know. That was like it's just the best idea to lie. I mean, I guess that's like the best thing to do in the moment since you don't really know how to make them stop fighting or arguing. But still, I don't know if that was like the best course of action. And every video that I upload, I always put in the comments the over analyzing Avatar dude because I like his videos a lot when he breaks down each episode. They're way better than mine. He can actually edit and everything in his videos. But I do like his videos a lot. I remember he was saying this is one of like the worst rated episodes, and like in the fandom, people hate this episode a lot, especially because of the ending with Aang just lying, which I can understand because it's just before he lied. Not saying the episode was anything too crazy, but I thought it was just like a decent whatever episode. But yeah, it is pretty bad that he lied about this history and stuff. That's kind of wild. That's really wrong. But that's the episode for you guys today. So, like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you all later. Thank you all for watching. I think you all later. Be woman human beings, and I'll see you guys next time. All right. Bye bye. And also tell me what looks better. The video looking like this or the video looking like this? I mean, it doesn't look too bad when it looks like this when I turn the lamp off. Because the lamp, I mean, you guys see it all the time. Whenever I turn my camera around on my TV, the lamp is like shining really bright, so I put my hand over it. But I was like, well, I was recording one day, and I was about to record, and I was just looking at the screen. I'm like, the area doesn't look that bad with just the ceiling light. I mean, yes, it looks a lot better with the lamp on too, But this doesn't look too bad. So does this look good? It does look pretty good, huh? It doesn't look too bad. Just with the well, now when I'm on screen, I need the lamp because I look like super. I look super dark. But since I'm not showing myself at the moment, it doesn't look too bad. But it's just like the environment without me. But when I am on screen, I need the lamp. I need a lamp on because I look way too dark. I look ridiculous. But yeah, this doesn't look too bad. I guess the next episode review I do what all grown up? Yeah, tomorrow when I do all grown up, when I record that, I'm gonna just do it like this and see how well it does. You know, it doesn't look too bad like this. It looks nice. But okay, yeah, that's the episode. Bye. All right.